Google's already testing driverless cars, and a new report shows the company is considering building its own vehicles from the ground up to bring the technology closer to market. A report on Jessica Lessin says Google's designing and developing its own cars to navigate the streets autonomously using the scanning hardware and mapping software Google has developed specifically for such cars. But Google doesn't have the manufacturing capacity to build its own fleet, so it's reportedly in talks with contract manufacturers to build the cars. This comes after discussion with traditional automakers stalled. Companies like Mercedes evidently aren't interested in building self-driving cars because, well, people like to drive. Indeed, the CEO of Daimler, whose Mercedes models incorporate cameras and radar systems for partially autonomous driving, still says we will never automate the cool part of driving. Google's entry into the auto space would likely put pressure on existing automakers. Softpedia suggests Google doesn't want to compete directly with their offerings, but to get them to help autonomous driving along in the market. Google's innovating faster in this specific space than existing car companies. Left to their own devices, car makers won't put out a model that's even vaguely resembling the capabilities of Google's cars for another decade, and you won't see a self-driving car on the road for 2 or 3 decades. Getting a self-driving car is just one piece of the puzzle, though. Google will still have to find people who want to sit in a car and not drive it. Engadget explains Google might get these autonomous cars into the public eye by starting a robo-taxi service, which is exactly how it sounds. A self-driving car would come and pick you up and drop you off at your destination. It's not as flashy as owning your own Google car, but 9to5 Google points out it's much more affordable. Insiders say the prototypes driving themselves around now cost about $150,000 apiece. And there's at least one more hurdle Google will have to keep in mind: regulation. The company is required by law to keep someone in the driver's seat of its autonomous cars, and that's not likely to change immediately. Even if self-driving taxis took off, there'd be someone riding along in the driver's seat just in case. And if you want to ride home from the bar, you'll have to be in the right place. So far, only Nevada, California, Florida, Michigan, and Colorado have rules in the books permitting the operation of driverless cars. For Newsy, I'm Logan Tittle.